Good afternoon, everyone. Right, just to start off with, can everybody hear me okay? I've got the new earphones and mic at the moment, so if you could let me know if you could hear me okay before we get going, in case I need to do anything. Doesn't look like the mic's working. Nobody's answering. Grand, it's working. That's brilliant. I'll just get stuff moved out of the way so we can get started. So what we're going to do today, now I haven't got an earworm at the moment. I don't know if any of the guys are coming in or not. So bear with me on this one. If you have any questions, please slot them into the chat or wait until I have a pause at some point and then we can get questions done. So what am I doing today? I'm going to do a presentation wine glass. It's going to be made out of oak, but it is going to be coloured. I'll be using probably chestnut, ebonite lacquer and Joe Sonia paints. Maybe one or two colours, might be three. Not too sure yet. I'll just go through the chat so I know who's in there and say hello. The mouse isn't working properly. Right, Mark's in. He's first one in. Nice one, Mark. Steve Ellis, good afternoon. Dr. Bob, morning, Dr. Bob. DJ, Turner Steve, Keith, hi Keith. Mark, Chapelau, hello. Barry, good afternoon, Barry, and good afternoon, Blair. So we've got a few people in. Right, I'll change camera angle and then we can start doing what I'm going to be doing. I'll stick the overhead on, see how that's looking. That's not looking too bad. So first thing I need to do is get the goblet part of the wine glass sorted. So the wine glasses I get from local supermarket, Tesco's. I think they're about £6 or something for 4, so they're not extremely expensive. And all I'm going to do with this is chop the stem off around about 1.5 inches down, just using the Dremel with a cut-off blade. And there we go. Didn't take long at all. Get that out the way. Move that out the way. Move the goblet out the way so it doesn't get broken. And I'll get my piece of oak mounted. Now the piece of oak is around about, I think it's about 4 inches square, something like that. 3.5 inches square, and it's so just under a foot in length. Oh, Wibby Woodshed's just come in. Afternoon. I've already marked the centres on this. This is a fairly plain piece of turning, this is. All I'm really doing is turning it down into round. I'll be drilling a hole in this end to take the goblet part of the wine glass. And then I'll be shaping the stem, and that's really going to be about it. Oh, then I've got the colouring to do. See how that's running? Yeah, not too bad. I'll just move that along so it's more central. Oh, Nick's in. Afternoon, Nick. So turn this up to speed. That's at about 1200 there. I'm just going to use my roughing gouge just to get it down into round. Move my stool out the way. Oh, afternoon, Claire. Right. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone. Because of the support that you've given the channel, I've been able to buy these new earphones, and it means I can actually wear my safety mask with the earphones on, which is a huge bonus. I've also been able to buy some new finishes. So I got a delivery from Chestnut Products yesterday, and I've also got, I can't remember if I brought them out with us. Yes, I did. Got some power carving gouges from Axminster. So I've already got a power carver, so I'm going to try some new things as well. So thanks very much for the support, guys. It's much appreciated. Have a quick look. Oh, a fair bit to go yet. Move the tool resting again. There's one small piece left. I'll just get rid of that. My part and chisel, and just take off the edge here, or straighten this edge up. Rub the bevel on of the parting tool first, then start bringing the handle up till you start getting a cut, and then take the cut down. And you're trying to end up right on center. Now I'll get set up for the tenon going on the end. There we go. Now I don't put the dovetail on mine, I'll put a parallel cut on and I'll put a groove in because of the way my jaws are set up. So that's it done down into the round. I'm just going to take this out, knock out the centre. Hey Doc, hey Sharon. Hey Phil. Just bring the tailstock up to make sure it's centered and clamp it down. Thanks for that, Doc. Afternoon, Henry. Right, so the first thing I'll do is get a hole drilled for the goblet to go into. Just have a look and see what length I'm wanting. Now the stem on this wine glass is an unusual, just over 1 1/4. It's an unusual diameter. It's just over 8 mil. So the 8 mil drill is going to be too small. So I'm going to have to use a 9 mil drill. So the stem might be a wee bit on the sloppy side, but I'm going to be using 2-part epoxy glue. So it should be okay. So I'm just going to get this measured up. Across there might be easier. Around about there. No, the wood is oak, Phil. Afternoon, Joe. Hi, Moore Valley. Hi, Richard. Just seen you come in there. Right, so turn the lathe on. I'm going to turn the speed down to about just under 500 just to get this hole drilled. It's a nice new drill, so we shouldn't have any issues. Always remember to bring it back a bit and get the flutes cleaned out. And there we go. And what I'll do, rather than taking the drill away completely, I'll just make sure that this stem fits all the way down, which it does. We'll take the drill out, put the tailstock back in, and then we will carry on getting it shaped. Hi Steve. Hi Rob. Yeah, Dark's keeping the hand model thing going. Now I'm just going to make a parting cut at the chuck end, just so I know where I'm finishing off, because I don't want to go too near to the chuck. This parting tool needs a sharpen. I'll use a different parting tool when I'm doing the finish cut. Get the speed turned up again. Drop the tool rest down a little bit, that might help. And I'm going back to use my rough and gouge. The majority of this can be done either with a rough and gouge or a skew. I'll use the rough and gouge. Now, you might think this is a hell of a waste of wood. I needed something this wide at the bottom so it's stable. So what you actually could do, if you don't want to waste as much wood, you could use a thinner piece of wood for the stem, and then use a separate piece of wood for the base. Just get my spindle gouge. Just to do some shaping at the top of the stem. Hi Steve, yet another Steve. It's the Steve Show again. I don't remember, Nick, to tell you the truth. I think Dale did. I think he cut his finger on a piece of glass during one of his lives. Now, what you want to try and do when you're doing anything that's going to be fairly thin is try to get finished off at the tailstock end first. And leave some bulk at the chuck end. That way you'll end up having less vibration. Now this could be done for any sort of anniversary type celebration, birthdays, weddings. Oh, David's in. Good afternoon, David. Well, I'm just going to give this gouge a quick sharpen. Dark. I use a 45-45 on all of my gouges. I think what happens, Dark, is with the grains on the gouges, you tend to find one that you like. Now I'm starting to get a bit of vibration here. Oh, Glenn's alongside Joe, eating his lunch. Right, that's the turning done. I'll get this sanded up now. Turn the speed down a little bit. To fix the focus. Is the focus out for everybody? All right. Right, so I'm going up to. Hey, Dale. I'm going up to 400 on this one because it is going to be coloured. Just looking for a fresh piece of abrasive. You never find the right bloody grit when you're looking for it. Yeah, I guess that was coming, Joe. I did think about wearing the t-shirt today. All right then. Just move my tailstock back out of the way. And the tool rest as well. Yeah, that'd be grand, thanks if you would, Dale. That's just acrylic sanding sealer I've put on there. Just give that a second to go off, and I'll just wipe the excess off. And I'll just wipe the excess off. Oh, hang on.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me okay, Dale?
Shit. Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
Grand.
Get me off the camera. I can see my work shirt. Ah.
Hey, where am I? Where am I? What am I doing?
Well, here, I've pulled. Dark reckons I look sexy.
There you go. Right, I'll knock that back with some Scotch-Brite pad, the orange one, which is the equivalent grit to about 1200. Quickly knot that back, and then we'll stick some. If I can find it.
So I missed the start. Are you putting a glass at the top?
Yeah, wow. I am. It's going to be a wine glass. This is a presentation wine goblet.
Cool. Cool.
So it's going to be coloured.
I love making these things.
So for any type of presentation, you know, birthdays, weddings, you could make a pair of them for weddings. You can do them ordinary size just for use. I mean, this one could be used. Don't get me wrong. This one could be used. It's just, as soon as it's that tall, it's very easy to knock over.
Young Rob CP has said the only 12-inch he can give his wife is from Subway.
Remember, if you're going to use a hot air gun to dry paint or anything, always turn it on before you point it at the piece, just in case there's any dust inside.
Darkman says, at Wayne the Woodturner, I've been working with greenwood as of late, but I get mad cracking in the wood. Anything I can do to stop it from cracking like crazy?
Right, there's a couple of ways you can do this, Dark. You can either turn it to a particular thickness and then cover it in whatever sealer you like to use. Stick it in a bag and leave it for about 5 months. Or you can turn it to a finish and let it warp. That's what I like to do. Right, so I've got some violet. I'm using the Jo Sonja iridescence. I've got some violet and some green. There's a new green. No, it's okay. Just going to get a paintbrush and use my famous technique of dab it on. And then
Paul
you
Lockwood
just...
says, sorry, mate, go on. My apologies.
No, you're going. Go on. Paul says.
I'm just going to say, Paul says, I think with oak, I would definitely use an ebonizing solution rather than paint.
Yeah, it's all personal choice, Paul. If you want to see how Paul has done his ebonizing solution, because I think he's actually done a couple of them to tell you, or he did try a couple of them, go across to his channel, and he has done videos on producing and using ebonizing solution.
Real Simple Things is saying, sorry, David Robinson says, where did you get the glass parts from, Ta? Barry's answered them, supermarket, Tesco's, I think Wayne said.
Yeah, Tesco's. I think they were £4 for £6, and I used my Dremel with a cut-off blade just to cut the stem off at about 1.5 inches long. For people in the States, if you want to pay the money, you can actually buy stemless glasses from Craft Supplies USA. But I think they're a bit more expensive than buying cheap ones and cutting the stems off. Right, so that's the violet. I'll just clean this brush. I'm going to use the same brush. Paint will get mixed in here anyway. And I'm going to put the green on now. The violet, I've got to say, is one of my favourite colours to use in the Joe Sonia range, and I think the green goes really well with it. They all come out, as you can, well, I don't know if you can see, they all come out a creamy colour. They're only identified by what's written on the pot, so you've got to be very careful when you're using multiple colours to either get them identified in some way or have a good memory.
Robert CP says, have you tried Indian ink as an ebonizing solution? It doesn't smell bad and it's light fast.
No, I haven't. I'll tell you, the last time I made an ebonizing solution was many moons ago. And rather than go down the route of using either iron filings or wire wool, things like this in a vinegar solution, I went to the chemist and bought some iron tablets, ferrous sulfate, crushed them up and put them in water. That worked. Yes, Mark, I will be gluing the glass into the wood. I'll be using 2-part epoxy to do that. I'll not do it just now because I've still to part it off.
Darkman says he's like a teenage girl shopping offline. He wants it now, so he'll use the oil because he can't wait months. Real Simple Thing says the paints look awesome. Demo, hi Demo, is in the chat.
Thank you. Hi Demo.
Paul
Don't
Lockwood
be too
says,
heavy-handed when you're using the. Go on.
No, I'll let you go, mate, and I'll keep it.
Okay. Don't be too heavy-handed when you're using the hot air gun, because you can dry the paint too quickly, and it will bubble.
Paul says wire wool de-waxed slash greased with vinegar works very easy and well. Paul goes on to say, on oak, it works extremely well. My video coming next week has some used in it if I ever get it edited.
Right, the reason it works so well on oak is because oak has got a very high tannin count, and it needs to have, if you're using any sort of ebonizing solution, it needs to have a high tannin count. That's what the ebonizing solution reacts with. So oak has a particularly high tannin count. Right. Is that touch dry? Yeah, that's touch dry. I've got some new lacquer I'm going to use today.
I'm being asked what I'm
Again,
eating.
this is
Sorry, I'm being asked what I'm eating. Bacon sandwiches, guys.
right. Ebonizing acrylic gloss lacquer. There's lots more people in now, so I'll say what I said before. I'd just like to give out a huge thank you to everybody who comes in and watches me and the support I've been given. I've been able to buy a new set of headphones that I can wear my mask with, so it's a lot safer now. I just got a delivery of Chestnut Products finishes. Sorry, well, I did get a delivery, but I bought them yesterday. So, and I've been able to purchase some power carbon gouges for my power carver. So try some different stuff in the near future. And this has all been down to the support I've been given, the super chats that you've done, people coming in and watching and everything like that. So thank you very much, guys. It is much appreciated.
Glenn Senior has just said he's finished his tomatoes on toast.
Yeah, I haven't had tomatoes on toast for years. Right, this will be touch dry within 20 minutes. I'm going to help speed that process up. I probably should have lacquered it afterwards, but I'll bring the speed of the lathe down so it's very low and just get that with the hot air gun.
Baz is saying your vocals are much better.
No, that's because I'm sober, Barry.
SK Craft says we love watching you, Wayne. Alan Smith says I use iron filings and bits of Pro Edge and filter it using paper coffee filters.
Oh, right.
Glenn Senior says with loads of black pepper. Joe Senior says neither has she had tomatoes and on toast. Oh, might be a commentary at work in there. I've never heard of tomatoes on toast, says Rob CP. Glenn, I'd rather have bacon, says Baza. Paul says, I mean, this is it. Paul says, well, Glenn, Glenn is safe there. I think we're all after the bacon. Mark, with some tear to his eye, says, mushrooms on toast used to be my favorite. Oh, not Mark's accent, but there you are. Tommy Dunn's in the chat.
Afternoon, Tommy.
Damo says he loves tomatoes on toast. Of course, if I have bacon, I have to follow out with something sweet.
Tell you what, this oak does not like being cut with a parting tool.
Glenn tells us he's trying to be sensible, so no beer for a fortnight either.
No, he's just sticking to the gin or the JD.
SK Crafts asked me, "Is it Jaffa Cakes or tea cakes today?" No, I'm having a slice of lemon meringue pie. Thomas Steve is saying getting confused between lunch recipes and black wood stain. Need to be careful when he makes lunch.
Bloody hell. What's going on here?
Mark, it's saying, Wayne, that piece we were talking about last night, I think I'm going to do this with that. What do you think?
Oh, what were we talking about last night? Oh, right, Mark. Yes. Yeah, aye. That sounds good. Be a bit different.
Young Dark Matter says, be sure to check out Wayne on Instagram. No nude photos, but lots of wood.
Right, scoot it
Twisted
up.
Cheese is in the chat.
Afternoon, Pete.
He says, hi all, just popping in while I put my trousers on. Been shorts weather in the workshop, but I have to nip to the post office. I'm glad you completed that sentence there, Pete. He was getting a bit worried.
Right, I'm just going to quickly mix up some 2-part epoxy.
You have a super chat from Alan Smith.
Oh, thank you, Alan.
Hey, Mark is suggesting get a kilt. I can get behind that idea. I find a summer kilt to be a very refreshing thing to wear. Lets the wind get where it needs to get to.
Oh, this will be better on the side one. Yeah, that's better.
Scotty the Highlander says he was wearing his when it was 10 degrees. Bood isn't ready for him in a kilt yet. Baz is saying, haha, what like yours, Mark? Lots of blacksmiths and knife makers wear them too. Absolutely. Let the air get to those places that nature really intended air to get to. You're a little bit off camera with your mix, Mr. Wynn.
Not right. Okay. Well, it's only mixing 2-part epoxy. Right then.
I'll answer Paul's question. He's asking what cameras are you using, Wayne? I'm guessing the quality is down to the internet. So far, 6. Paul, absolutely. I can speak for Wayne on this. He has a 5 meg down and 800 kilobit up. So it sort of restricts him to around 720p on a good day or 480p on a bad day.
Yeah, the internet around this area is pants, to say the least.
But Elon Musk is going to save it for him.
It works well enough for me to do the lives. So as long as everybody can still put up with the poor quality, where to put the wine glass? Oh, there it is.
Most of the time, the quality is good enough, sir. It's some time before you broadcast in 4K video. I think Mr. Musk needs to get more satellites up, and then you're sorted.
And there we have it.
That looks really good.
Another fairly quick project. Again, I'm doing well. I'm sticking to me hour-long projects. I'll come back in on the Audrey Airy camera.
Mr. Glenn is surfacing a question. When are you heading to Scarborough, Wayne? Says you lot are
Right.
getting freed soon.
Right, I was speaking to Jane about this last night. When the hotels open up down there, because they're not opening up until, I think it's the 4th, isn't it, of July? I think. There we are. Yes, Glenn. I think the hotels are opening up back up on the 4th. So it'll be sometime after the 4th. It will certainly be during July. Where I'll be coming down to you, spending the night, and then shooting off down to see Dale. I think Dale will be back at work then, so it's probably going to have to be
always
a
at
weekend.
work. No, I'm not back in there. I mean, I don't have to go to the office for some time, but I'm still at work.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it may well be a weekend. I'm not too sure.
Good for everybody. That way, folks can show up for barbecue.
Yeah. So I'll try and plan for a weekend. Come down to yours on probably the Thursday. Spend a bit of time at the unit. Stay overnight at the hotel. Shoot off down to Dale's on the Friday. Overnight at Dale's, or maybe a couple of nights at Dale's. Then I'm shooting off down to see JP. I think I'll be spending. In fact, I'll definitely be spending the night at JP's. Because there's no way at all that I'm going to meet his dad without having a drink and a blether. So plus I've got to do a bit of one-on-one with JP with traditional tools. So yeah, it'll probably be at least a day down at JP's, and then I'll be shooting back up home. So it's going to be a nice long weekend of it for me. I'll just have to make sure Jane's got plenty of ready meals in. Right, guys, there it is. Overall height, I will just tell you the overall height. It stands 16 inches tall. The base is just over 3 inches diameter. So yeah, that's it. A nice presentation. Wine goblet. Done in just under an hour. Don't put it if you make one, don't put them in the dishwasher. Just wash the glass. Grand, Glenn. We'll talk about it closer to the time. I'll say that it'll probably not be weekend of the 4th. I think it may well be the next weekend. Thank you, Mark. Right, guys. Any other questions before I go? Doesn't look like it.
It's awfully quiet.
Yeah, I'll put the thingy chat back up. Right, Nick, that's another plan, because obviously I will be heading up the M6. I'll speak to you about that closer to the time as well. Right, I'm going to end the show there, guys. Thanks very much for coming along. Again, thank you for the support that you've given me. I'm going to carry on doing the lives, the lunchtime lives. Basically, I'm just going to carry on doing them. The Wednesday night lives, they're not going to stop unless something serious happens. So I may well do a live with JP when I'm down at his place. That'll probably be a Monday. That'll probably be me missing a Monday lunchtime live because I'll be still out and about traveling. So we'll see what happens there. Right, that's it. I am now going to press the bloody button. Bye,
Oh.
guys. I'll see you
Bye.
Monday.